They're like, get her in the corn. I'm like, look at the call sheet. It's just running through corn. Bo runs through corn. Bo runs through corn. I'm like, oh, we're doing a lot of tonight.
I mean, we tried to release it. We tried. And then we realized that there was, that nobody was coming to the theaters.
Where instead of basing her off someone else, and I feel like that really helped, make her feel more, relatable or more real.
Took care of me. So now I'm going to take care of him.
Like killing all the adults.
For starters.
Let me first say that I absolutely loved your guys' movie. I got to watch it about a month ago and was blown away. I've never really been into the Children of the Corn series, so this one was finally one that really got me on board. And so I guess the main question that I have, and the one that everyone is wondering, Kurt, why did it take so long for this movie to come to us?
Oh, well, it was very simple. It's funny how short people's memory are, but there was this thing called COVID and the theaters were shut down. I mean, we tried to release it. We tried. And then we realized that nobody was coming to the theaters. So we're like, okay, we can't do this. I mean, we put too much work into this, and the theater's empty. And it wasn't until last summer that Tom Cruise came along in Maverick, and people said, oh yeah, maybe theatrical is a thing again. And we said, okay, good. Now let's have a conversation about releasing our film. And, fortunately, RLLJE and AMC Films and Shudder stepped up.
What was the deal with the 2-day release in Florida?
Well, we tried to release it. We tried to, but when something's not working, you pull the ripcord. Yeah.
I also am really curious. Elena, you are the dramatic anchor for the film and a tremendous final girl. And historically, the final girl is the one that goes through kind of the most difficulties when filming. So can you talk about any of your struggles when filming? In particular, the scene where you are dripping in gasoline for about 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah. What was 5 minutes was really like 5 weeks. Every night. They're like, get her in the corn. I'm like, look at the call sheet. It's just running through corn. Bo runs through corn. Bo runs through corn. I'm like, oh, we're doing a lot of tonight. So it's that thing where like our lovely hair and makeup team, like they had made this concoction of like this stuff that would make me look like I was dripping wet, but it was like a gel, but it dried so fast. And they had like, we got to go old school with it. We're going to just dump the water bottles. And at night, the temperature would drop like crazy from the hot sun, in Sydney, outside Sydney where we were shooting. So I'd be running around and getting scratched up by this corn, and I'd be sopping wet, like I got puddles in my boots. And I was just like, I had good night's sleep. That's what I could say. I had no restless nights. And I would have nightmares of corn. I'd be like, afterwards, I was like, oh my God.
I was hoping. I figured that there would be a good story with the gasoline, because it's like it is dripping off of you for quite a bit.
Each take they would run in. Those girls, they were my girls. They run in, they'll be like, we're so sorry. And they just dunk it. I'm like, no, more, we gotta make it real.
And the thing is it's a story point. So it wasn't like to dry up. You could have, say, okay, you did it, now I get to dry. It's 5-10 minutes later, you're dry.
Yeah.
No, it's a massive story point. So we had to keep her soaked in that tractor fuel, theoretically.
Yeah, I noticed that, because it's like, well, obviously you need to be able to set up that then she's getting gasoline all over the corn and stuff. So it was very funny to see because that's all I ever think of is the filming aspect of any kind of horror movie. And so I immediately felt bad for you and wondered if you had even gotten like hypothermia or anything.
Luckily the medic would bring like a foil blanket thing, and I was like, no, gotta be tough. Tough it out. But it was rough. I appreciate your consideration there. Got good, detail oriented.
So Kate, being the evil child in the film, since you're essentially playing the Isaac of this movie, did you watch any of the old Children of the Corn movies for any like inspiration for that performance?
I actually didn't. I know it's going to disappoint some people. I'm going to eventually, I promise. I just don't like horror movies. I was 11, so I hadn't really heard about it that much before. And I thought, with the help of definitely Kurt and Elena, we got to develop Eden from the ground up, where instead of basing her off someone else, and I feel like that really helped, make her feel more, relatable or more real.
Yeah, I thought that Eden was definitely one of the best creepy evil girls in a long time, just because you're not trying to go big with it. You're not trying to be evil, which just makes your character that much more scary.
I think so too. The thing is, we didn't go and, me and the producer, Lucas Foster, we didn't try and cast a creepy looking kid. Kate's clearly not a creepy looking kid. She's the opposite. She's a baby face.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her, and she's 11 years old. But we thought it's her intentions. It's what she does. Which by the way, I pretty much agree with everything she does in the movie. I think I would do the same thing. But it's her actions that make her threatening, and not sort of the pyrotechnics of hiring just the creepiest looking kid you can find. Instead, we just hired the best actor.
And I think that absolutely plays. And same with you, Elena. I think that one of the strongest points of the film is your guys' performances. And since you guys have the most screen time, I think that it really helps propel the film forward. And so, yeah, no problem. Kurt, the movie is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm curious as to how you pulled off some of the corn effects, in particular, the massive blaze at the end. Was it a mixture of CGI and practical, or?
Mixture of CGI and practical. It was practical then amplified by CGI. We grew up at corn, by the way. We're all corn farmers now on this. And we know more about corn and we ever want to know than everybody. Most people have forgotten, and we know every corn joke that's ever been told. We told it to each other. But regarding the way the movie looks, it's not a lot of it takes place at night. Most of it takes place in the day. And the very interesting thing, which was an unexpected benefit, was there in the southern hemisphere, for some strange reason, when the sun hits the horizon, it doesn't go below the horizon like it does here at that time of year. Instead, it rides right along the top of the horizon. So you have a golden hour that lasts over 2 hours. It was incredible. And that's why, these girls were backlit like the way they are. And, Elena with her hair, it looks like she's a matchstick on fire all the time because of the beautiful sunlight was here. So, I can't take any credit for that. That's just, God and the Southern Hemisphere and Australia at work.
Well, you made it look absolutely beautiful, because that's one thing I kept thinking was, how did they get this lit so well? So that makes sense.
And our great DP, Andrew Rowlands.
Well. Andrew Rowlands was great too. But I always kid him. I'm like, listen, God, let's be real. God was our DP on this.
Well, and so finally, I have, a fun question to ask all of you. I'll ask you individually. It's all the same question. But if there's any other Stephen King property that you'd like to, either star in or make, which would it be? Elena, I'll start with you. You look like you kind of have something.
You know what, Tyler? I'm going to flip the script because I'm a horror junkie. All right. I love horror. And we've been asked this question literally every interview.
Oh, no. Have you?
No, I'm going to ask you. I want an answer from you, Tyler, because you're the horror expert as well. So I want to know what would be your choice.
I mean, I can always see Kate in It. I mean, that's an easy choice.
Very nice.
I don't know, Elena, I always when I see you, I think of Silent Hill, which isn't a Stephen King thing. The second Silent Hill game has a character that looks just like you.
That movie is so disturbing, but of course, I've seen it many times.
If I had my choice, I would like Stephen King to respond to these two ladies' performances and write a sequel to Children of the Corn based on their characters and make that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm doing my part because I'm a critic as well, and my review just released today, and it was wonderful for you guys. So I'm really, really rooting for your film. I really loved it and can't wait to see it released into the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support. Seriously.
Yeah, no problem. And thanks for so much for talking with me today.
Children of the Corn.